Everyone has heard of Michael Jordan. His hard drives to the lane, exclamation mark dunks, and artistry with the basketball have all made him famous. Julius Dr. J. Irving also had such moves, contorting his body in ways that most people could only dream of. But where did this above-the-rim style of play originate? It originated with a player named Connie Hawkins. Hawkins brought his acrobatic and flamboyant style of play to the Phoenix Suns in 1970. He combined street ball moves with solid fundamentals and added a touch of personality to create one of the best scoring forwards of all time.
Connie was a really smooth guy coming to the hoop, dunking on you. He was the ultimate in-your-face finesse player. And traditionally, forwards couldn't move like that. Somebody 6'8" and long like that couldn't move like that before Connie.
Connie Hawkins is a legendary figure because he redefined the way basketball is played in the NBA. According to one sports writer, if Michael was the Chuck Yeager of basketball, Julius Erving was its Charles Lindenberg, and Connie Hawkins was its Wright brothers. Cornelius Hawkins was born on July 17, 1942 in Brooklyn, New York. His childhood is plagued with poverty and discomfort. Hall of Fame forward and coach Billy Cunningham remembers back to their youth in New York and states, "Of all the people I ever knew in New York, Connie was the poorest." When Connie was young, his father left the family, providing a tough challenge for Connie to overcome. As Connie would later discover, basketball would be his one way out of the ghetto.
I remember having to play basketball, and sometime my mother would call me to come home and eat. I wouldn't go home and eat. I would just stay out on the basketball court. I mean, it just consumed my whole life.
As word circulated about a tall, skinny kid with moves, Connie was accepted into Boys High, a basketball dynasty coached by Mickey Fisher, the John Wooden of high school basketball. Connie flourished, winning the city championship in both his junior and senior years. His senior year was especially impressive, as he averaged 25.5 points per game and was selected as a high school All-American. At the same time, Connie was also making a name for himself on the playground, constantly dealing with NBA stars such as Wilt Chamberlain and Earl the Pearl Monroe.
I remember the first time I saw Connie Hawkins was when I was a 13-year-old little boy in the Ruckus tournament, watching him play in the Ruckus tournament, and I looked at him and it was unbelievable to see a guy do the things that he could do.
With such a phenomenal high school career and college coaches begging at the door, Connie seemed destined for greatness. Connie Hawkins took his rare blend of size and speed to the University of Iowa, and the team looked as if it was headed to win an NCAA championship. Fans anticipated a great rivalry between Hawkins and Ohio State's All-American Jerry Lucas. However, it did not come into fruition. A betting scandal erupted back in New York, and Connie's name surfaced. Though he was never charged with any criminal wrongdoing, Connie would spend the rest of his career proving his innocence. With the NCAA having tight rules on betting, Hawkins was denied the right to play at Iowa University, as well as being blackballed by the NBA. Commissioner of the NBA, J. Walter Kennedy, let it be known that he would not allow Hawkins to play in his league.
Once you get caught with a name, you're stuck with it for life, no matter what it is. I mean, you are stuck with it. And what they remembered about me was I was involved in a basketball scandal, and that pretty much stuck for the rest of my life.
With nowhere to go, Hawkins joined on with the Pittsburgh Wrens of the upstart ABL League. Here, Hawkins dominated, winning the MVP award in the brand new league.
He was a beautiful player to watch. I mean, his long arms and big hands and his artistry with the basketball. He played the game effortlessly. He made everything look easy.
However, the league folded the next year, and Connie was forced to move on and signed with the Harlem Globetrotters. Over the next 3 years, the talented Hawkins faced his prime years fooling around instead of performing in the NBA. While with the Trotters, he filed a lawsuit against the NBA, claiming he had unjustly been denied a chance to play in the league. Without the league coming up 10 minutes to Ben. Hawkins left the Globetrotters in 1968 to join the brand new ABA League, and won the MVP award in the league's first season. Against the Pittsburgh Pipers to a 54-24 regular season record and the 1968 ABA Championship.
The ABA championship for me was probably the biggest thing that ever happened to me. I mean, it felt like a championship. It actually felt like we were the best team in the world at the time.
Hawkins handled the ball so well and had such great athleticism that he often left his defenders gasping for air while on his way to the basket, jamming home.
He was 6'9" and played the game with the guard's mentality as far as moves and ball handling skills.
Next year was a disappointment for the Pipers as Hawkins was limited to 47 games and the Pipers were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. After the 1968-69 season, the NBA finally settled the lawsuit with Hawkins and he signed with the Phoenix Suns. Hawk had a phenomenal rookie season, averaging 24.6 points per game and 10.4 rebounds per game.
He had great impact on this franchise, not just in the win-loss column, but it established the Phoenix franchise as a franchise to be reckoned with.
The Suns made the playoffs and Hawkins led the team to a first-round matchup with the Los Angeles Lakers. With the team down 1-0, Hawkins put on a show. He scored 34 points and grabbed 20 rebounds against the front line of Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor. Although the Suns would lose in a 7-game series, Hawkins excelled. It has been regarded as one of the best playoff appearances of all time. Although Hawkins' professional career was short, playing only 6 years in the NBA, his influence on the sport of basketball is undeniable. He was the first athlete to combine the slick moves of street ball with solid fundamentals and create the above-the-rim style of play that we know of today.
And everybody had talked about how great I was, but I never really played against the best. And so I had to play against the best to see how good I was. I think to me that was one of the greatest highs I've ever had. Of course, I was playing against all my schoolyard and childhood legends, Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, and Jerry West. And once I got into the NBA and played against the top players and was able to make the All-Star team and be on the All-Pro team, then I knew I had arrived.
In recognition of his legendary status, Connie Hawkins was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame in 1992. In the words of Larry Brown, Hawkins was Julius before Julius, he was Elgin before Elgin, he was Michael before Michael.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too